Rambo, mud, rain, guns, and absolute chaos in the jungle. Sounds perfect, right? But what if I told you there's one major mistake hidden in one of the most iconic action scenes from the 80s, and most fans never noticed it? In Rambo, First Blood Part 2, there's a moment where realism slips. Where nature itself seems to forget what it was doing just a few steps ago. And if you're paying attention, it's kind of hilarious and fascinating. Today, we're diving into a subtle but major continuity error that changes the tone of the scene, and maybe, just maybe, makes you appreciate the chaos of 80s filmmaking even more. Let's rewind for a second and set the scene. Rambo has just been betrayed. After being sent on a so-called recon mission to photograph potential American POWs in Vietnam, he discovers they're actually real, alive, malnourished, and imprisoned. But when he tries to do the right thing and save one, the mission's corrupt overseer back at base, Murdoch, pulls the plug, leaving Rambo stranded behind enemy lines, despite Colonel Troutman's protests. Classic government betrayal, right? So now, Rambo is on his own again, deep in enemy territory, hunted by both Vietnamese and Soviet forces. And then comes one of the most intense sequences in the film. The jungle is pouring rain, the ground is drenched, and the atmosphere is thick with suspense. Rambo is being tracked like an animal, mud-covered, silent, and terrifying. Soldiers sweep the jungle, flashlights cut through the fog, and Rambo, completely camouflaged, waits for his moment. This is peak jungle warfare cinema. You can almost feel the weight of the humidity through the screen. But here's where things get weird. Just moments later, literally within what seems like a few hundred meters, Rambo makes a run for it. He bolts through the jungle, making his way toward a nearby village or camp. And just like that, the jungle disappears. The rain is gone, the air is dry, the terrain changes instantly. The muddy, storm-soaked ground turns into a bright, sunlit sugar-cane field with bone-dry plants waving in the breeze. It's like Rambo just ran from a thunderstorm into a desert. No transition, no puddles, no water dripping from the trees. Just heat and dry leaves ready to catch fire. What happened? Well, folks, this is what's called a continuity error, and it's a pretty big one, even by 1980 standards. So why did this happen? It's most likely a result of how films like Rambo 2 were made, shot across multiple locations, often out of sequence, and sometimes weeks or months apart. Weather doesn't wait for film crews. Many jungle scenes were filmed in Mexico, not Southeast Asia, and if you're filming a rain scene in one location and a village scene somewhere else, weather continuity becomes really hard to manage. But more importantly, the filmmakers probably weren't too worried about it. They had bigger priorities: explosions, adrenaline, cool kills, and heroic slow-mo shots. That was the name of the game in 80s action. And honestly, it worked. Most people didn't notice. The pace was too fast, the action too loud, the editing too slick. But when you stop and look, it's there, clear as day. But here's why it matters, not in a negative way, but in a fun, film geek way. Spotting little inconsistencies like this gives us a new lens to appreciate the movies we grew up with. It shows us how these films were built, piece by piece, set by set, location by location. These are the human fingerprints left behind in a movie that's larger than life. Mistakes like this make the film feel even more real, not less. It's a reminder that even legends like Rambo have a few smudges on their record. So the next time you watch Rambo, First Blood Part 2, keep your eyes open when the jungle turns dry. You'll spot it and smile. Did you notice this before, or did we just ruin the scene for you forever? Let us know in the comments below. What's your favorite movie mistake? We love hearing about them.